All right, so boys and girls, it is now writing. We have learned so much in this unit. We've learned so much. We learned, what things have we learned? Can somebody tell me what we've learned in writing as authors and illustrators? Beth.
Writing our stamina.
We're building our stamina. Yes. Emilio.
Adding details.
Adding details. How can we add details? Can somebody tell me how we can add? Maggie.
You put lots of colors and colors.
Lots of color. What else? Ayla, how can I add more details? We put lots of color. What else can we do to add details? Writing, labeling. Yes, labeling. But how more can I do? What else can I do? Isaiah.
You could use your pencil too.
Use your pencil, yes, but how can I add more detail? Who do I need to include in my picture so I can make sure I'm adding more detail? Arturo.
You put arrows.
Arrows, yes, for labeling, but what else do I need to put in my picture? Emilio.
People.
People. We need people in our story. So to add more detail, we can use color. We can say, who was there, right? Who was there? Where were you? Where were you? Right? Where were you? How did they?
Feel.
How did they feel, right? Those are ways that we can add detail. And then we do the arrows and label, right? We label that way. Yeah. Tomas, stop turning on your microphone, please. Thank you. Yeah, so that's the ways that we can do it. We can add more detail by saying who was there in our picture, how did they feel, and where were they? Were they inside or outside? And then we can label things. So that way when we go to tell somebody our story, we can remember by looking at our picture and label and all our labels. They help us to tell somebody our story, okay? I'm gonna wait for Emilio and Arturo to pay attention to the teacher. Your hand should be on your table. Your hand should be on your table. So I know that you are listening to me. Estoy esperando, Emilio. Thank you. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. But you know what, today, I've been looking at a lot of pictures and a lot of stories. You guys have been doing really good. You guys are telling who was there, where they were, how did they feel? You're putting a lot of details to your illustrations. You're labeling, right? Like in this picture, you're labeling with maybe the first sound that you hear or maybe the whole word, okay? The one thing I want you guys to focus today in your stories, okay? I want you to write a story today about something that you were there. You have to be there in this story, okay? Whether you went to the park, you went camping, you have to draw yourself in the story. You have to be in your story today, okay? One important thing, after you write your story about yourself, or whatever it may be that you're in that story, you're gonna find yourself in your story, and this is what I want everybody to do, even those kiddos at home, okay? You're gonna find your little guy. Let's say, for example, this is me right here. This is me, and I drew my picture. This is me right here, and I drew my picture. I know how to write my name. So I'm gonna make sure in my story today to make sure I label myself. Write my name. Add your name. What are we gonna do today?
Write your name.
You're gonna write a story about you, and you're gonna draw yourself in that story, and you're gonna label yourself, because everybody here knows how to write their name. Everybody at home knows how to write their name, okay? So in your story today, what are we gonna label for sure?
No.
We're gonna add what?
Your name.
See? We're gonna add, whose name?
Our name.
Your name. Are you gonna put more labels?
Yeah.
Yes, but for sure, it has to have your name. name. I'm gonna be looking at, everybody's writing today, your story has to have your name. No sé por qué Arturo tiene, amigos, Gerardo tiene su cámara. I don't know why Gerardo has his camera on. Somebody is not following the rules. Okay, so make sure that you do that today, okay? That's what we're gonna be doing today. Our focus is adding our name, labeling ourselves in our story. Is everybody ready to label yourself in your story?
Yeah.
Add lots of detail?
Yeah.
I don't know why Gerardo is not listening today. I'm going to stop your video, buddy. Okay, so
Remember to do.
Gerardo, mute yourself, honey. You are being really disruptive today. Okay, so here we go. I want everybody to take out your writing papers, writing notebooks. At home, take your writing notebooks out, please. And I want you to write a story about yourself or about your family, but you have to be in your story, okay? I want to see everybody in their story. And then after you're done putting lots of detail and color and labeling, I want you to make sure you label yourself. I want to be able to see your picture and say, oh, there is Maggie because she labeled herself. Oh, there is Arturo because he labeled himself. Label your name, please. Okay? 10 minutes. Here we go.